I would recommend this course to everybody. I think it's good for new agents like myself.
I wanted to learn the secret that all agents had, all successful agents had. And I got more than that.
Another day one. Monday, another day one. Start every single day as if it was your first day, and you'll be successful.
Signature!
Standing room only. Yes, the rumors are true. The coolest broker is in the coolest office in Green Valley. All the rumors are true. We got standing room only. As the politicians say, don't pan left, don't pan right. We got standing room only. Welcome to our sales meeting. Signature, how are you doing today? All right, perfect. We got a big lineup for you. We're gonna bring our amazing sales manager up here, Roya. She's gonna introduce our special guest. And then we're going to have a legislative update. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to, and we're going to have people reading from the back, but tell us what you want to know from the legislature. So here in the room, get your questions ready. Out there, type them in so we can give you some legislative updates and tell you what you want to hear. Landlord, tenant stuff, septic. If you haven't, we got all the crap on septic that you want to know. So. And before we do all that, Janet, our amazing broker from the Southwest, she's got an announcements lady. Here she comes.
Okay.
Here we are.
Stuff from Janet. Boy, you can tell it's after Easter because most of the women in the room are dressed in beautiful spring pastels. It's really cheery to look out across the room. Okay, first thing happening. Tomorrow in this office, Ticor Title will be presenting a class on, excuse me, wire fraud at 1 o'clock, right here. The very next day, Thursday, Ticor Title will be at the Spanish Ridge office for a lunch and learn that starts at noon. We're giving you lunch, so please RSVP with Kyla at our front desk so we have enough food. But it's going to be on how to read a preliminary title report. Now, do you know how to read a preliminary title report and tell your buyer, hey, you're not going to be able to put in that pool on this property because Southern Nevada Water Authority paid for them to remove all the grass in the backyard? Do you know how to find that? Do you know how to tell your buyer, I don't think we're going to close on time because this seller owes back money to the IRS? Or this seller owes child support for 3 kids in New Jersey. If you can't answer those questions and read a preliminary title report and explain them to your buyer, you need to be at that class because that is your obligation to explain that to your buyer. Because if you don't understand it, your buyer does not understand it. So, 1 o'clock tomorrow at Spanish Ridge. No, I'm sorry, noon tomorrow. Noon Thursday at Spanish Ridge with lunch. So Monday, April 17th from 1 to 3, Chris Bishop will do his agent masterclass on the listing agreement at Spanish Ridge. Tuesday, the 18th, there's going to be the office meeting at 9:30 at the Northwest office. If you haven't been there, it's a good reason to come because immediately after the office meeting on Tuesday the 18th is going to be a farming class. So you need to be there. And then Wednesday we have free CE, Wednesday the 19th at Spanish Ridge. And I skipped something. Wednesday the 19th, 8:30 right here with Roya, dialing for dollars, cold calling, prospecting, come make contact with clients. And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, prelim is important. I had one with 5 liens on it one time. From the IRS, the guy was a doctor, so there was 2 of them from the state of Nevada Medical Association, which were liens against him and his office, and then we had 2 of them that were in his identical name. And I'm like, how can a guy put a lien on his own property in his own name? Well, it turned out his parents sued him. So that tells you what kind of guy this was. His own parents sued the guy. So how's that for a good deal? So, all right, so bringing Roya up. Give her a big hand, but before, real quick, remember, legislative update questions, and make sure you're filing them in. You guys out here, make sure you're coming up with some questions for it. So Roya, give her a big hand.
All right, exciting, great. So in addition to the prospecting workshop we have with Jamal's actually going to be helping out as well, and it's going to be a great event for you guys to be able to not only do role playing, but also make phone calls. And we're all going to be there too, so we can all do it together. We're all in one, we're all in it together. So make sure you guys are there. I know Janet's doing a Cinco de Mayo on the 4th of May, correct? So please make sure that you're at the Spanish Ridge location on that day. And then the following day, on Friday, from 4 to 6, we're going to do our Cinco de Mayo here. So please make sure you bring food. We're going to have Chicago Title is going to sponsor it, and it's going to be a great turnout, so we want to have fun. Make sure that you guys are here and get us a head count, so let us know if you're going to be able to make it, okay? In addition to that, we just want to do some wants and needs. Who's got some houses they want to sell, hopefully, and who has a buyer they want to place in a house? Come on, come on. You can come up here. Just because there's a microphone up here, it's much easier. Thank you. Introduce yourself, too.
I'm Cynthia Barron with Signature Real Estate Group in Green Valley. And I have a listing at 762 Panhandle Drive in Whitney Ranch. It's a 2-story, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1943 square feet in a wonderful community in Whitney Ranch. So I have some handouts. If anybody's interested, they can pick up a handout from me and let's get it sold.
Yeah,
Thank
it's a
you.
great location. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Listings? Come on up here. Buyers? I know you're just like pointing, so come on. Thank you.
I have one right here in 89074. We actually just did a $20,000 price reduction on it. The property address is at 2547 Quail Canyon. It's currently listed at $579. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath property right here, 89074. If anyone's looking for one, that one. We have one that I think is going to fly off the market, to be honest. This one's probably going to be gone on the day that it actually goes live. It goes live on Wednesday. It's incoming soon currently right now. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I mean, it's a gorgeous condo. It does not have granite countertops, so that's the only thing that's not really upgraded throughout the whole thing. The rest of the house looks amazing. The kitchen does look very, very presentable though, so it's not like it's a rundown kitchen, it's just not upgraded. That one's listed at $215. So I mean, this thing is gonna fly off the market without a question. And this is in Desert Shores. So beyond value on that one.
I love Desert Shore.
We know.
Oh, so pretty.
I'm
Kathy, come on up.
And I'm gonna do one other different needs and wants. Is I do have a need. If anyone's looking to join a real estate team, guys, I'm looking for agents too. So we have plenty of leads coming in. We're handing off leads. We're handing off deals. Definitely want to train you, show you guys everything, take you under the wing, and really teach you guys how to be a good agent.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's a lot of, yes, thank you so much. There's a lot of teams here at Signature, and I know Nicole's also looking to recruit. We also have Jeff back there that's looking to recruit. So if you ever have a need, or if you come across an agent that just needs a little bit of extra, like, you know, hand holding, and then needs, I don't know, every team's different. I don't know about leads, but I know they'll help you grow your business. Please reach out to a broker, and then you can interview with a variety of different realtors to find out which one is your perfect fit. Kathy, did you want to come up here and talk about your buyer? You're not ready yet? Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking, I think you just answered it, anywhere from 2 to 300.
2 to 300 buyer.
Yeah, let's talk.
And are they cash?
Yeah.
Yes, cash buyer, 2 to 300. So if you have a house or a condo for sale, Kathy Jones is looking for it. Look at it on the app, Kathleen Jones. Who else?
Here, I have a.
Come on up,
I have
yes.
a listing.
I'm Nicole Terry. I'm in the Green Valley office, and I have a listing in Reverence. It's 900,000. It's a 3-bedroom on about a third of an acre with a really nicely developed lot, and there are strip views coming out of the backyard with a little elevated walk platform to really capture the views. Very nicely done. It's just a few years old. Super sweet, easy, clean, nice, and beautiful area. Beautiful
Yeah,
community.
that's a gorgeous area. Okay, that's very nice. Do you have a question? Oh, no, okay. Yeah, beautiful. Anybody else? Buyers, sellers, any wants and needs? This is your time. I mean, you have everybody here. Anyone? Okay, well, I have one. So we have a duplex for sale, and it's only $460 right now. We actually are looking to put a garage on there, so the price is gonna increase. So if you have someone who's looking for an investment property or wants to live in one and rent out the other one, this is a great opportunity for them to do that. So get with me before the end of the day. That would be fantastic. And with that, oh, you want to know where it is? Okay. So it's at 89122 on Boulder Highway and Ranch Whitney. So like Tropicana, like kind of the 89122 east side. But one of the units is vacant. Will be vacant in May, which is basically around the corner. And the other one just signed a 6-month lease, so they have 5 more months left. Okay, 460. Marinate on that. Okay. So with that, we're going to bring up the Mortgage Corner with Myra. Come on up, Myra. Labeled it Mortgage Corner. I think that fits pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. And Shelley.
All right, want to go first? Okay, I'll go first. So just to give you an update on where interest rates are at this week, we have seen a little bit of decrease over the last couple of weeks, which is a blessing to all of us. We're in about the 6.25 to 6.75, depending on credit score, depending on loan type, which this is coming down from like the 7s into the 6s, which is good. We're actually yes, thank you.
I will take anything at this point.
Exactly. Something I do want to share is extended locks. We've had a lot of inquiries with the new construction. I know there's a lot of standing inventory that's out there, but there are still clients that are looking to build, and we do have the opportunity to do extended locks for them. So 90-day to 360-day locks with a 1% upfront cost. Well, actually, it's a 0.5 point to 1%, depending on that time. That does affect interest, like the cost for the rate or the interest rate, but you can actually take advantage of a one-time float down option during that time. So if we're all believing that rates may actually go down, which I think that will happen, they would be able to take advantage of that if they were building this home and locked in their interest rate. Something else that I feel like must have gotten through social media yesterday. Did anybody see the post about FHA announcing May 1st they're coming out with a 40-year mortgage? Okay, I hate to break it to you. It is for modifications only. I had a ton of my realtors like, hey, great news, what does this do for our buyers? It is only for modification. So as people are going through like the COVID forbearances or any of that, and they're now unable to meet their forbearance agreement, they're going into modifications. This is one option for them, is a 40-year term, which will help them, right? They'll add that, whatever that amount is on that agreement, take that term out to 40 years, should hopefully reduce their mortgage payment. So not yet on purchases or refinances. Maybe that's something they'll do in the future, but if you are hearing that, because I think clients are also seeing that as well, saying, hey, I understand FHA is now offering a 40-year mortgage starting May 1st. Just know it's for modifications. And then Ms. Myra is going to talk about some updates to our teacher program.
So as you guys know, or maybe not, school is almost over this school year. There's probably less than 30 days left of actual school, which is crazy. But with that being said, our teachers now are going to have a lot of free time. So the teacher program was extended for the Nevada Home is Possible, and they also made some changes. So before it was only an FHA loan, now it's also conventional. And before, it would only allow us to use 45% debt to income ratio. Now, if they have a 680 credit score or above, now they allow us to push it to 50%. And then the good thing about that program is it offers below market interest rates. I checked today, and it was like 6.25 for the interest rate. So that's exciting. And then, it's been extended. So if you guys know any teachers, this is definitely a great program that's offered to them. Gives them $7,500 that they can use towards their down payment or closing cost. They just have to live in the home for 5 years.
Awesome. So if you have any questions for us, myself, Myra, Tony will be here after the sales meeting. And have an amazing week. We'll see you guys next week.
But yeah, if you have not reached out to Prosperity Lending, they have some amazing lenders. Definitely reach out to them. And it's nice to have them in-house so you can really kind of get that full attention. In addition to that, one of the most important things for us as realtors is to kind of know the community, know what's going on, where there are some builders, are they still building, where are they building? And we have a beautiful area that we are going to highlight today, which is called Inspirada, which is actually my very first house when I moved here in 2008, was in Inspirada, the KB home. And Ms. Karen Wolford is coming up here to talk a little bit about that. She is the realtor outreach liaison between Inspirada and all the builders and all of us. So please reach out to her with any questions, and she's going to have a little presentation for us.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me back. Can I have a show of hands of who has never been to Inspirada? Okay, just okay. So I'm going to try to give you the items that are really important and that's new for you, and we'll kind of do a little recap also. So Inspirada. Can you advance? We are a 1,500-acre master plan community. What makes Inspirada different from master plans than what we've typically seen in the valley is usually it's a developer and then they sell the land to builders. When the land went into foreclosure, KB Homes, Toll Brothers, and Tri-Point Homes purchased the land along with Beazer, but Beazer's no longer building, and builders became developers, which could have been a little precarious, but they've done an excellent job. Right now we have 30 new models in 9 neighborhoods, over 40 floor plans. Floor plans range from 1,150 square feet to over 3,500 square feet. Our price range is $300,000 to $600,000, and again, these are our builders. Next, please. So what makes Inspirada different is our park system. The parks went in before the homes actually went in. We have 5 parks currently within the master plan community, with our 6th park under construction. The great thing with the parks for our residents is we will dedicate the parks. We donate the land to the city of Henderson. We work with the city of Henderson to understand the amenities that each park will contain. And 4 of the 5 parks have a swimming pool. The great thing about the pools is they're for our residents only. So the other good thing about the parks, and the city of Henderson has received numerous awards for their park systems, is they maintain the parks extremely well. So if you go into any parks today, they look the same as the day that they opened. Next, please. Sloan Canyon. Who has heard of Sloan Canyon? Who has hiked Sloan Canyon? So especially now this time of the year, Red Rock, you go up there and it's just so crowded, it's hard to get parking. The great thing with Sloan Canyon, not a lot of people in our entire valley know about it, mainly people in Henderson. It's a great hiking opportunity. A lot of the residents in Inspirada, they walk a lot, and the trails within the community really lend itself to that. So you could be in the first phase of Inspirada and actually easily walk to Sloan Canyon, do the hike, and then walk home. You could do the same thing also with our parks. Next, please. Schools. If you have families, schools are top priority, correct? The great thing is Robert and Sandy Ellis Elementary opened, I believe this is their 5th year with the same principal. Del Webb Middle School is our middle school. It's ranked 3rd academically across all Clark County schools. Liberty High School, I work closely with Mr. Bello. He is the principal. I love competitive people. Competitive people make things better. So not only does Liberty have a strong athletic program, they also have very strong academics. I met with Mr. Bello just recently, and he feels that him and Coronado, he's like one of the top 3, in his view. Palo Verde and Summerlin, Coronado, and Liberty High School are the 3 top performing high schools within Clark County. Pinecrest Academy then is within Inspirada. It's a K-8 program. It's a STEM charter school. Pinecrest Academy Sloan Canyon is right at our front door. So if our families enjoy that Pinecrest education, they can then continue in high school. And then we have Milestone Academy, which is pre-K in kindergarten. Western Development then, that's this phase of development that we are in. Everything else has been built out. We have 3 school sites planned. We have 1 park under construction, 1 in planning. All 3 of our builders are present in these villages, being KB Home, Party Homes. And I'm sorry, Party is now Tri Point Homes and Toll Brothers. Next, please. So I'll go briefly over the product that we are selling. KB Home then has 4 collections: the Groves, townhomes featuring 2 stories, 1,300 to 1,800 square feet, and the 300,000. Next, please. Gardens collection, 4 2-story floor plans, almost 1,600 to over 2,000, priced from the 400s. Next, please. Landings is single and 2-story floor plans, 1,150 to almost 2,500, and that's in the 400s. And then reserves collection, single and 2-story floor plans, 1,600 to 3,000, high 400s. The great thing, and I know you've experienced this all over the valley, are the builders are making it more convenient for you to shop with your clients. I know myself, I get grumpy in the summertime when I'm in these clothes and I'm in and out of my car. So if I can do one-stop shopping, I love it. What KB Home has done is you have 4 collections, 2 model sales offices, 1 shared parking lot. Can't make it more convenient. Next, please. Amiata is Toll Brothers' newest neighborhood. Their sales office is opening next month, and the model should be open this summer. Luxury townhomes with rooftop deck options. If you go out into the community, you're seeing the structure. It's currently underway. Up to 2,154 square feet and 500s, and they'll have their own community pool. Now, even if your clients buy at Amiata, they also have access to all the other Inspirada pools. Tri-Point Homes, Strata Collection, single and 2-story floor plans. This is the 3rd time this collection has been brought to the community, and every time, and now take it where the market was, but it's sold within a year, each and every time. So it's well received, well liked, and every good builder always tweaks, gets feedback from their buyers on how to make the models better. Almost 2,500 square feet to 3,500 square feet, and that's priced from the 600,000. Next, please. So what is different with Capri? So Inspirada had 1,500 acres. There was roughly 600 acres that went to 12 other landholders. But when you are in Inspirada, you do not know the difference between Inspirada Builders LLC and non-Inspirada. It all flows together. The great thing with the Capri collection is townhomes, 1640 to 1924. This came from the Southwest. Again, it was very, very well received off of Russell Road in 215. But for your clients who really like master plan, they really like the community of Inspirada, no LID. So that will help with budget conscious buyers. Next, please. Arden Collection 2-story floor plans, 2,000 to over 2,700 square feet, and the 500s, and again, no LID. Now, so what's going to be different for these residents? The City of Henderson just had 2 events at Salisa Park, and they invite the entire community of Henderson to come. The great thing, the majority of the people there are residents. They can go to our parks, they can walk our trails. They can't use the pools. So Tri-Point, being the smart builder it is, put in a swimming pool for these residents. So they don't have, I don't know if anyone, when Summerlin first developed, Pueblo was considered the stepchild. And those residents really felt like they were not included. the great thing with what TriPoint has done is those residents are going to feel special. So, we told you we'd bring you retail, and we have brought you retail. Has anyone been to the shops? If you haven't, you need to go out there. I mean, I was out in Inspirada just last week, and every time I go into the community, I'm just shocked at the development and growth of the community. This is really great. So we, of course, we're in Las Vegas and Henderson, so we opened our liquor store first. Keep our residents happy, chill. We got Marco's Pizza, we got a Subway sandwich shop, we have a dental place, just a lot of nice retail. When I first saw this land, I thought, how are we going to fit everything into that? But actually, it flows really nice, and the residents access it, even gas pumps. Next, please. And this is, it shows you the land, again, Jack in the Box, Marco's, Jersey Mike's, Great Clips, UPS, 7-Eleven, Saxon Yokes, Martial Arts, a hair salon, a liquor world in Sparta. I think the only thing that isn't open yet is the Thai restaurant. Next, please. Bicentennial Marketplace, another one. That's right off Bicentennial Parkway between Via Inspirada and Via Ferrans. A library. The library is great, and we're in such an age of technology, who reads books, right? So it's a smaller footprint. It has a lot of flexibility to expand or shrink depending on the planning that they're doing, getting residents' input on what they want to see in the library. You go to library, I love hardbound books. I don't like digital reading. So I can go to this library and I can give them my title, give them my author. They will say, okay, Karen, it's at this location and we're going to have it here for you tomorrow. They're so convenient, and trying to draw the children back into the library. Breakfast restaurant, we have a Mexican restaurant that just opened. The tavern is wonderful. The daycare is open. Starbucks, I interviewed a home buyer from TriPoint Homes. Her favorite thing every morning, because she's from California, she walks to Starbucks and she walks back. And sometimes she does it twice a day. Next, please. Our community association, we do a lot of things. We have a farmer's market. We're doing munchies for the military with Liberty High School. And we're really pleased Vegas Golden Knights Foundation sponsored this event for us, so they're going to pay postage. So if you want to give back to your military men and women, just visit any of our sales centers and go to Inspirada.com, and we'll tell you the wish list items our soldiers need. Our assessment is $85 per resident. Next, please. Inspirada.com. I don't know about you. I don't leave my house anymore. If I have a meeting with someone, if I am learning something, I need to be more knowledgeable on a topic, I go to my computer first and foremost each and every time. Even when I'm on Zoom meetings, I'm clicking, just to get myself up to speed and stay really knowledgeable about the topic. Inspirada.com is super user-friendly. We have an area that's specific to realtors, so we'll have our maps on there for you. We will have each builder and the collections that they are building. And then if you like what the builders are doing, we're going to let you click right to that builder to get more information. Who's using concierge, online concierge through the builders? One? Do it. Oh my God. When I go someplace, I'm getting more savvy, cleaning the addresses in my phone, but if I'm not quite sure it's a new build, I go, hey, it's Karen, where are you? And guess what? Like 30 seconds, we're here. Anything else you need? No? Good. Anything I need, if I need, because I do like nominations for different builders and I need a lot of information on the floor plans, I go to them, hey, is this a 2-story? Is it 3-car? Give me all the information. And they give it to you so quick. Try it.
How do they find it?
Again, Inspirata.com. The best one, the first one I would try, go to TriPoint Homes. So go to Inspirata.com, go to TriPoint Homes, and then go into their collections, and then it says, do you need assistance? Click on that, and you're going to get their digital sales team. They are wonderful. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And next, please. You guys know about this. The Raiders have been there. The Performance Center has been there. Next, please. So I asked, and then, so if you go to Inspirata.com, go into the Realtor section, you can sign up to receive information from us. We create one newsletter per month, and we're going to give you maybe 4 articles, and we're going to let you know what the events are in Inspirata. And I promise you, you will love our newsletter. We are going to tell you when Amiata is opening. We're going to tell you when the parks are opening. We're going to tell you what our residents are doing. We're going to give you every bit of information that you need to know to keep you up to speed on what Inspirata is doing. So when your clients ask you, you will have the answers. Any questions? Yes.
What's your favorite thing about Inspirata?
The people. Honest to God, I love the people. My startup was Summerlin, and Summerlin is a great community. Henderson is different. The people are educated, but they are just more confident in themselves, not so showy. So when you go to our events, the families just touch you. They come up and talk to me. They talk to each other. It's just a tremendous sense of community at Inspirata. And I say that sincerely.
Oh, it's true. My sister, I watched my sister's dogs one weekend. This is a horrible story too, but it's also a really good story. So they got out from underneath my fence, and I did not know it. I was in my robe still, and I was freaking out, and I went and I got in my car with my robe, and I will tell you, at least, I don't know, 5, 10, their little kids were helping me look. They went up and down the roads helping me look for them. It was really, I love that community. Inspirata is like one of my favorite communities. It's really a nice place.
And we do range from first-time homebuyers to empty nesters. There's a broad range of residents. And if you want your clients, especially if they want a sense of community, drive out there on a Saturday morning. My favorite thing is mom's pushing a stroller. Little Johnny's on his bike with his helmet in his soccer clothes because he's going to soccer practice. We got pickleball courts now. We have tennis courts. I mean, the parks are fully loaded.
Do you do the movies at night, or?
We have in the past. In our association, Tasha is wonderful. She's very in tune with the residents, and they're always changing it up. The city of Henderson is now bringing, Romeo and Juliet is coming, I believe, in May. So they brought 2 events to our parks now. So we're pleased about that, really pleased. Yes?
You had mentioned something about Beezer's no longer building there. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so Beezer was when Inspirata Builders LLC had 4 builders at startup. So Beezer made the choice that and each builder bought a percentage of land. Like KB Homes owns over 70% of the land. So Beezer built out the land that they owned initially and then chose not to build anymore, not to purchase anymore.
Another question.
Yes.
So when we go to Inspirata.com, we can go down to the individual builders, and from there we can utilize the concierge?
Yeah, so you'll go onto the tab on the left, and it says builders, or you can go into the realtor. Once you get, if you click builders, right away you're going to see the 3 builders. And if you just scroll down a little, you'll be able to click on the collections that they have, and then you can click from there to either the very specific collection or to the builder itself. But you can get to our builders through our site.
I'm sorry, one more then. So with that being said, the Inspirata LLC, the ones that are outside of that community, are they also on the Inspirata site?
So he's asking me, are they non-Inspirata Builders LLC on our website? No, they are not. Because what happens with master plans is our builders pay into a marketing co-op, and then whoever pays into the co-op is represented. Okay? So Go out there, have lunch, especially Bicentennial Marketplace. Yes,
So inventory is a huge thing, everything?
yes.
Any standing inventory?
Yes, yes, again, Inspirata, he asked me, if we have standing inventory. Yes, we do. So if you go to Inspirata.com and you go to each builder, they will show you what inventory that they have for sale today.
Which one would you buy off the standing inventory?
Oh, no, I can't say that. I can't say that. I love all the builders. It's so fun to go in just to see the design.
It's so pretty.
Yes. So thank you. I hope that you come out.
Oh, and also give a very nice thank you for the breakfast today that Inspirata. So 100%, if you have not been to Inspirata, should definitely take little John out there, especially if a family. I mean, they have so many like kid-friendly things going on, and it's a really nice area. You should definitely go check it out. With that being said, obviously the theme of today is get in the know. So we want to get to know a little bit more about the legislative update. Come with your questions, and I'm going to introduce you guys back to Keith.
Thank you. That was weak. Come on, a little better than that. Like breakfast. So think of those questions. Online people, you're slacking. We don't have any questions yet for legislative. So get going on that. So let me tell you a little bit about the session. And when you're formulating those questions, as I look around the room, to these people that are formulating questions in their head, don't ask me about SB 123. I don't know what the numbers are. That may shock you, but I have no idea what the numbers are. We are tracking, last I heard, 150 some bills. So literally when I'm testifying, they write in big letters, AB 223 is what I'm here to talk about. That's the only reason I know the numbers. So let me tell you a little bit about the session. And I know you're all reading the Nevada Advocate, right? Got two people that actually remember. And I know for 1,000% Janet is one that reads it. So read the Nevada Advocate. It comes out every Friday afternoon. And I know you're all listening to It's Not Soup Yet, right? Yeah, it's the lack of response is telling. I'm telling you. We've decided to do something a little different this year. We've been sending out the Nevada Advocate. But we also have been doing It's Not Soup Yet. And I'll tell you the story about why it's called It's Not Soup Yet here in a second. And you may know the names. Chris Bishop is kind of our official host. Tom Blanchard and myself. Tom is the president of the Nevada Realtors. These names ringing a bell. And then myself, I'm the legislative chairman for the Nevada Realtors. So three signature people that are highly active in the game. Tom, as you know, is the president. This is my third time being legislative chairman. I'm pretty proud of that. I actually knuckled Tom to name me chairman again because there have been three of us that have served twice, but I'm the only one that served 3 times. So I can go to my grave saying, see, as Janice smirks, Janice says, I knew there was something about this whole thing, yes. So pretty proud of that. And I've been doing this for 20 some odd years. So there's a lot of things that, we come from. And before that, 5 years before that, I was lobbying for the real estate community. And so we hear things and it's coming up. And here's what we know. We'll release a bill. Doesn't matter what bill it is. Septic this year was a good example. They released this septic bill. You guys lost your minds. You went crazy. Everybody was screaming and hollering. Landlord-tenant stuff comes out. You guys lose your stuff. I hope you're not driving when it comes out because you're crazy. You don't know how are you going to control yourself, and you're screaming and hollering. And that's where It's Not Soup Yet. I would tell everybody, just calm down. It's not soup yet. There's a process to this. The water's not even boiling yet. This stuff is just all coming in. Let it go through the system so that we can work it. And here's what I will tell you, and yes, it is a little bit of a plug towards the PAC. Our PAC works. We have gone from a pretty decent political player 20 years ago to the preeminent political player today. And I say that with, believe it or not, modesty. That's not us saying it. That is other people saying it. You read the publications of the political insiders, and they will tell you how much influence. In fact, there was a program, the Nevada Independent. Anybody read the Nevada Independent? You guys go on the Nevada Independent? How many are sick of the slants of the mainstream media, even some of the local media, right? Is anybody, hello? Is this on? I don't even have a mic, but is this on, right? Anybody sick of the media? Anybody sick of the slants and everything? Go to the Nevada. Thank you. Thank you. Wake up in the back. You're going to go around and slap people again. Go to the Nevada Independent. It's a great publication. It is not your 10-second, I call it your 10-word answer, and you get that in politics. You know, how do you feel about this? They'll give you 10 words. Well, any idiot can answer in 10 words, and believe me, some of these politicians are complete idiots, and they get that 10 words. It's the 11th word that gets them in trouble. Think about that next time. They can answer real short clips, but when they get towards that 11th word, that's when they get in trouble. The Nevada Independent goes deep dive. I mean, it is an in-depth publication. They had a program. They had the majority leader, the speaker. They had the leadership for the Senate and the Assembly. And one of the first questions that the moderator asked, because they were talking about housing, they were talking about landlord-tenant, the first question that the moderator asked of the speaker was, do the Nevada realtors have too much influence in the building? I love that question. I love that. Because why? Why do you think I love that question?
Because it shows we do have.
Exactly. They didn't ask if Joe Blow did. They asked if the Nevada realtors had too much influence. I say, no, we don't have nearly enough influence that I want. I want more. But it was a great question that we had that. So love it where we're at now. We will be able to get things done that others don't. And that's a good thing for not realtors. I'm always up there to take care of the consumer. If we take care of the consumer, we take care of the Nevada homeowner, we are so much better. And it's a long way of going back to the beginning of saying, that's where our PAC dollars count. When you go in and you pay your dues and you got that thing, and instead of swearing at it, because you got to listen to 3 or 4 videos to take it off, that's where that money goes. And it shows that in the things that we've done. We were essential in the pandemic. We get things done. And the septic bill is a perfect example, because I know that's part of what you guys are going to be wanting to talk about, because the septic bill and all that stuff. Every amendment we wanted, we worked with the water district and the health district to a lesser extent. Every amendment we wanted got through. From distance to funding to distance. In fact, it's now, we have got it limited to only the people that have wells right now. Because they were supposed to have their septics taken off because they got well water, or they got water service from the city. They were supposed to get rid of their septic tanks a long time ago. So those are the only ones that are impacted right now. So that's good news for everybody, and we'll spread it out. What else do you guys want? You guys have had enough time. I've jabbered enough to give you guys some questions. Do we have what? Grass? No, I don't think there's anything changed with grass. I don't believe. I think that's the pool. The pool was a municipal thing. 600. I think it's 600. Does that ring a bell with anybody?
Yeah.
I think that grass has always been limited. I think that a lot of that stuff is from the water district, so that might be something, Jeff, that they put out locally that you can't. Can you do front yard grass anymore?
No.
Is that what it is? So maybe that's.
They're gonna make you take it out at some point.
That's the tougher part of it, but they may. Do you know anything about that, Jeff? I haven't heard that.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, that's always the tougher part when you got it. Do they force you into doing it? They may force you through the price of water, where they could jack up the price of water. That might be the way to do it.
City of Henderson offers $2 and something a
Yeah.
square foot, to make you, to remove your grass and put in desert landscaping right now.
Yeah, and the water district does something similar, I believe. I think they still have that deal, and they deed restrict it. And be careful when you do that, because that little plot of land is deed restricted.
But the older neighborhoods that have, that were built in the 80s that have a significant amount of grass. I mean, I have front yard and backyard grass.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go.
So, I've been on the lookout to see, if they're really gonna mandate that.
Mandate it, yeah. Eventually, yes, they will. We have no choice. They have no choice. They'll eventually will do so. Nicole, do you have? No, go ahead. She was just waving at me, I guess.
So I know
Maybe she was having a seizure. I don't know. She was doing something.
nationwide, we've been, a lot of the gal bars and everything have been under lawsuits for the buyers, where basically buyers are gonna be put into, they're gonna have to charge, buyers are gonna pretty much have to pay their buyer agents. Is that one of the things that was on there?
No, so the question was LVR is under a lawsuit. There's like 3 or 4 of them going on now nationwide for it's brought by the sellers. It's a class action suit now, forcing the buyers to pay their own and all that stuff. That's nothing to do with what we do at the state. And it's going to be a long time from now. Whether that gets settled in the next couple of years, whoever loses is going to challenge that. So you're probably talking 6 or 7 years. But it will dynamically change, and it probably already has. If you're not operating with the buyer broker agreement right now, I don't know why you're not, but shame on you. And starting to set that expectations up. Because whether it's in the seller, the buyer ultimately pays for it. Because if you go back and look at the percentages, it's clear that the buyer is paying for it in higher sales prices. But yeah, but that's nothing we have anything to do with on there. But good question. Who else? Anything online yet? Anybody awake online? So a couple other questions that we get a lot. Landlord tenant. Where are we going with that? We actually supported one with our good friends, Legal Aid, who have been on the opposite side of a lot of things. And it's kind of unfortunate because I always say I lead off because I want to make sure all the legislators understand that we are representing both sides of this issue. We represent homeowners for sure, but guess what? Who else do we represent when it comes to landlord-tenant stuff? The tenants, exactly. You know, I don't know about you, but I know a lot of them, and I see it on our Facebook. You know, I got a leasing referral for somebody. Those are the people that we represent as well. And so we represent both sides of this, and we're unique in that. No one else does. And yet we get kind of painted in the picture. That's point one. Point two is, I say 99%, but it's a lie. It's 100% of the things that are brought up in testimony are almost always out of apartment complex. And we're talking the big ones. 1,000 doors, 800 doors. All the complaints we get are in that realm. This last week, the Culinary Union had over 200 people there at the Grant Sawyer building. Tom Sawyer. He actually is kind of Tom Sawyer. Tom Blanchard and I showed up, and sea of red. They all had red shirts on. And Blanchard said, I was going to go to the bowling thing, and I would have had a red shirt on. I said, that wouldn't surprise me at all, Blanchard, that you would have been standing in the middle of all the red shirts while I'm out there walking through my black shirt. So, but we went and testified, and every example, and he's a good friend of mine, the head of the Culinary Union, every example he gave, and I asked him afterwards, I said, every example you cited came from an apartment complex, did? He said, yes. And I said, exactly. I mean, who do we represent? From our property managers to us as just individual investors, they would get almost always, it's what? It's the 4 and under. It's those people that own 4 homes and less. It's not the ones that own 1,000 homes or own big, massive apartment complex. Our clientele are those that own 4 or less. And I have for 20 years now said, let's eliminate 4 and under. It's always been my song. If we eliminated 4 and under, we wouldn't care. We'd still be active. But we wouldn't care so much what they do, because at the end of the day, those apartment complexes are jacking their rents up 30-some%. And those numbers that you get are real. They are real. My daughter lives in one of them, and she's had a property manager banging on her door at 12:30. She sent me a video one time, 12:30 in the morning, banging on the door, lights were off, she's sending me this thing, and he's telling her that, well, we got complaints from a noise issue. There was everybody asleep. The only thing that was making a racket was the property manager banging on their door. That kind of stuff happens all the time. And so we went to this and we said, look, regretfully, we're opposed to this. It's a rent control. It's the same one they try to do in North Las Vegas. It capped rent, it excluded a number of things. Oddly enough, it excluded, if you own one house, it excluded that. And I went up to Ted's name, I said, Ted, if I own one house, I'm not renting it, I'm living in it. I said, so how does that make sense? And he looked at it, he said, well, you know, we didn't really think of that. I said, exactly, because you didn't talk to us before you filed this thing. And so I even threw for him, and they don't have a problem with it. So we try to get that done. There's another bill that's out there that we have supported with legal aid. I started to say with legal aid that we have supported. And it's a landlord tenant. And as I've said, in the legislative process, sometimes you got to give and sometimes you got to get. And we're giving up some, but we're getting some too. We're not going to get hit with the draconian stuff that we've had in the past. We're limited to raises on the vulnerable. And we get to define who the vulnerable population is, seniors, low income, those kinds of things. There's going to be a cap on what the raises are going to be from rent from year to year. But again, our people don't do that. They're talking to their tenants. They're saying, look, we're going to raise it this amount. How many of you have an investor that you know that hasn't raised their rent in quite some time because they've got a long-term client, long-term rent? Exactly. They know the most costly thing there is to be able to replace that tenant. So they don't want to lose that tenant. So we've got those kinds of things. Here's what I will tell you, final thoughts, unless we have some more questions, hopefully one or two more, is that we're in pretty good shape. We've got a great team. Tom Blanchard, as president, as we've said, has put together a great team. Azim Jessa, how many know Azim? Phenomenal. He's going to be a rock star. Just don't tell him I said that. Phenomenal. He's going to be a great chairman next session. He's the vice chair of the legislative committee now. As I say, just he gets it. He really does get it. We are looking for the next people to get involved in our legislative. And I'll tell you, there is somewhat of a vacuum between Azim and the next round of people to come up. So if you're interested in politics, if you're interested, get involved with your political affairs here locally, get involved with your legislative committee on the state, invest. I can tell you, whether you like it or not, that's one of the first things we look at, and we can't require it, but I will just tell you, it's required. Did I say that out loud? Make sure you're doing it because it's the right thing. And get involved. That is the signature life, and I tell you, that's one of the reasons that I've always been fond of all these guys. Aside from Chris, I've been fond of everybody else because of the involvement that you guys have had. We've had for signature. So, any final questions, Jeff?
Yeah. What do you mean by invest?
Invest in our PAC. I mean, it's.
Got it.
Yeah, invest in our PAC. You know, we've got the fair share. I think is $50. But even $15 is fair share. We've got major investor levels up to 10,000, but with a lot of pretty cool benefits. I'm in the Hall of Fame. I know. I think Brandon maybe is just going into the Hall of Fame. Tom, Brandon, Chris, if he's not, he's close. Patty Kelly. Yeah. Patty Kelly is in the Hall of Fame. You know, a number of us are in the Hall of Fame. So, but that's where all the funds come in. We've got about almost 400,000 that we invest on just a state level. We're one of the top investors in campaigns too. So, right, Jeff, one more.
Yeah, it's not a question. Shannon, my wife, just told me I'd be interested in this position.
Good. Thank you, Shannon. If we didn't need it, but if we did need proof who the brains in that family was, we got it right now. So we just got it verified. Go ahead.
And I don't think a lot of people realize that when we talk about invest, you know, you spend 3 hours listening to videos to get your $50 taken off when you pay your dues. Politics is a pay-to-play game.
Absolutely.
If we've ignored some candidate and said, "Now we don't like you and we're not going to donate to your campaign," then when we need a favor from this candidate, he's not even going to allow us in the office. It's a pay-to-play. So if the realtors are to be invested in what's happening in our politics in the state, you need to donate your fair share.
Great ending story. 2019, we had a rough session. and a bunch of middle of the night stuff happened. I was president that year. Chris, as you know, came in after the session. I said, you know what, we're never going to have this happen to us again. And I said, we're going to form some other PACs. We formed 3 other PACs, and we funded them with $1 million each. That didn't cost you a nickel. It came out of our political fund that we had from years and years ago. We capped that, and we put $3 million into it. And of course, we released this to the public. And the $3 million the realtors had, in addition to our 4th, and a couple of the legislators took note, who was on the other side of this. One of them said famously, I'm not afraid of $3 million. I'm still going to do what I feel is right. She didn't even run the next time. And the one that replaced her has worked with us ever since. The other one that was there came to us and said, look, I don't want to go through what we did last time. And she's working with us as well. So it matters. Pay to play, absolutely. We may not like it, but it is what it is. So, Roya, great job.
Thank
Come on
you.
in.
And just really
Final
quickly,
thoughts?
just really quickly, I was reminded that don't forget, you guys are all trying to build your social media platforms to make sure you hashtag Signature Life.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Keith just talked about it? As well as, Signature Real Estate. Anything that you're doing out there, make sure you tag us in it so that we can actually put it on our platform as well. So it'll help you guys grow your business as well.
Great. And, thank you for that reminder, because here's the other thing. Green Valley, seen as Janet's here. Any pool players in the room? Any pool players? Roya, we got a couple of pool players. We're throwing down the gauntlet. We're challenging Janet and Blanchard and all those guys. We're going to have our own little social pool thing. We're going to bring in a shuffleboard. Monica's going to work on it. Brandon's not here. He's up in Reno, Monica. So Monica's going to work from 1 to 3 on her shuffleboard skills. So we're going to have a shark in the building. So she's back there. Monica's back there going, what the hell is he talking about? We're going to have social stuff. We're going to have a pool. We'll have some shuffleboard. We'll have some fun stuff. We're going to throw the gauntlet down. So Janet, be forewarned. We're not going to tell them, but we'll throw the date.
Let me tell you, my office participates. We're not afraid to drive for 30 minutes.
Yeah, there we go. And there's the beginning. Great stuff, everybody. Have a great Signature Live. Yeah. Good job.